Hey y'all, I'm going to give it a minute for a couple of people to hop on the live. I had a cancellation before my 7 o'clock appointment. So, hold on. I don't know if y'all can see my table, or, well, not my table, but my Lipo mat. Hold on. Let me brighten my light. Okay. Now I think y'all can see it a little bit. I was going to try to knock out a couple of questions in the video because some things it's too much detail to type out, and comments in the video can be saved so people can reference back to it in the group. So there were a couple of posts that I wanted to talk to y'all about, several that I had seen. I know that some new people are coming into the group. Y'all look, I'm sorry. I have oil on my boobs. This is what happens when, like, you throw your whole body on somebody to do a wood session. You get little oil patches on your titties. So there's that. Y'all don't be talking about the oil on my boobs. So we had a couple people. Okay, first thing that I wanted to talk about was several people had wondered with your sauna blanket. This is something that I touched on in my book, but it wasn't like, you know, it didn't have like a section of its own. So I wanted to let y'all know the reason why you would do your sauna blanket before your radio frequency session, and not afterwards. For one, any heat exposure after radio frequency or vacuum therapy is a no-no. So that's something that is listed even in your machine manuals. So there are a couple reasons why it can be beneficial before. I know a lot of people say that they use the sauna blanket as a way to lose, you know, they promote it really big on the idea of it's a way that you can lose weight. And you can burn calories in a sauna blanket because your heart rate becomes accelerated from the intense heat to your body. But it is also really, really good for stimulating your lymphatic system. So let's imagine that you have a client come in for treatment, and maybe last week they were fighting a cold and they didn't know it. And their lymphatic system has been working overload. So you have to assume that when they come into you, that their system may already be loaded, meaning all of their lymphatic vessels in their body may already be full. So you bring them in for a treatment, and you do the treatment, and you're wanting to push what you have broken down to an already full system. It's not going to be super successful. So the good thing about the sauna blanket and the vibration plate both is because when you have a client come in, you can put them in the sauna blankets, and when you do, it's going to prime their system. It's going to kick that lymphatic system into overload. It's going to stimulate it immediately, and it's going to be pumping that lymphatic fluid into the circulatory system. So when you get ready to do your treatment, they're already primed. So that is a really good benefit to doing it before. The reason why you absolutely shouldn't do it after, and this is not anybody's fault, because I do understand that a lot of this was taught in training, okay? The reason why you don't give the sauna blanket afterwards is because when you do a radio frequency treatment, you are raising the internal temperature to a level that the body thinks it's actually experiencing a burn. That's why it sends collagen to the area. So when you remove that radio frequency, that tissue isn't automatically cooled. It retains the heat for a certain amount of time, which is why there is a no heat to the body aftercare protocol after you finish a radio frequency treatment. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for you to do an RF treatment knowing that that is a direct no-no, and then you put them into the sauna blanket. You're just directly going against something that could not be good or healthy for the client, because that tissue is already warmed up. Not only does radio frequency induce heat in the body, radio frequency induces heat to 40 degrees Celsius. A lot of y'all check the temperatures on your sauna blanket because you know that the sauna blanket is also capable of heating the body to a very hot temperature, to a temperature hot enough where that blanket can actually have the body produce collagen while they're in the blanket just from the heat. Well, cavitation also produces heat to 38 degrees Celsius within the body. So it's just, you don't need to do that because we don't have a way to check the internal temperature to know if we could possibly be harming a client by doing it. So that's why it's written in the manual to not do that. So I don't know why trainers are teaching it, but that is a direct no-no. So that is to answer the question on sauna blanket after RF treatments. Can you use the sauna blanket in combination with laser lipo? Sure. If you want to use the blanket following a laser lipo treatment or before, whichever one you want to do, it's totally safe. Laser lipo does not create the same amount of heat within the tissue. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about, so many people are coming on and we're talking about things that we use with cavitation. So instead of talking to you guys about it, I figured I could show you and you would understand why it's so important to have a water-based conductor for your cavitation, regardless of what you were trained and taught. I don't want to make anybody mad. If anybody's watching that may be a trainer, I'm totally not stepping on your toes because you may have been told otherwise. But I just wanted to show y'all instead of telling you. So in this bowl right here, this is ultrasound gel. And it does have a little bit of water added to it so that it's not so thick. And right here is coconut oil. And so I hope that y'all are going to be able to hear this sound the same way I do. And what we're looking for is which of these is going to create a louder sound force whenever you introduce cavitation to it, because we need that loud sound force within the body. Otherwise, if it's a quiet sound, it's not going to create like the acoustical vibration that it needs to cause diffusion to break these fat cells. So what you want to hear is a loud sound. So I'm going to show y'all the difference between an oil base and an ultrasound gel. And I'm using the S-shaped handle because this seems to be the one most commonly talked about whenever we're talking about using oil and stuff like that. If you're using an oil base with your cavitation, you are getting a little bit of cavitation result, but you're not going to be getting the same as what you would from a gel base. So if you don't like the way that the RF and stuff pops on it, I understand that. With ultrasound gel, you can thin your gel down and you can put it on with like a fan brush, just kind of like how it is in here, and it will eliminate that problem. I'm going to turn on my S-shaped machine. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the radio frequency just completely off. And I'm going to kick up the ultrasound. Okay. So, all right. Hopefully y'all can hear this. I'm going into the gel. Okay, that's gel. Let's do it again. Okay, all right, now let me clean it off. And this is your oil. Okay, I'm gonna listen to the oil again. Alright, and then I'm going to do the gel one more time. Okay, Here we go. So it's a huge difference. And the reason for that is because sound is meant to travel through water. So we need to assume that this is the same effect that we're getting on the body. Now, this is going to work the same with if I had a bowl of glycerin here, like I can dump this, well, if it's the same thing, it's an oil base. So you get a little bit of sound. You do get a small amount from the oil. This is coconut oil in this bottle, or in this glass dish. This is coconut oil. So you do get a small amount of sound, but you can't even compare the two. I mean, which one do you want to use if you have a paying client and you're trying to cavitate their fat? Do you want this? Or this? Y'all, that's virtually nothing. Go with your gel, okay? For a better result. Because this is the thing, if you're using the S-shape, and I know some people are going to say, oh, I've been getting results in this and that. Yeah, you probably are. You are getting results from fat reduction from radio frequency. I use radio frequency alone for my chin treatments, and it reduces fat, but I'm just saying it will be better. You may be getting results from your radio frequency on the fat reduction and a very minimal amount on your cavitation from using an oil base, but it could be way better with the gel. So rather than talking to y'all about it and explaining it, I just wanted to show y'all. But since I'm on the live, I would say if anybody wants to ask any questions, you can. If anybody watching wants to ask a question, you can. I've got a few minutes before I have to get ready for my next client. Nobody wants to ask anything? Y'all sure are quiet. Can't believe that. I approved like 30 questions on the group today. Alright, well, that was really, I guess, what I was wanting to show y'all, was the difference between the ultrasound gel and the coconut oil. On the mineral content additive, y'all keep in mind, a lot of people have messaged me and they're like, well, it's thinning down my gel, but the mineral content is not for cavitation conduction. It's for RF conduction. So this is my glycerin bottle right here, and this has magnesium in it that I mixed into my bottle. This is what I use with RF. So it's got my magnesium. You can also use sea salt, just a pinch, just like a little scoop of sea salt in here. Sea salt contains iron and magnesium, so that's good. If you're using the S-shape and you're like, dang, well, it's thinning down my gel, you know, you're just going to have to spread it on. You're just going to have to spread it on with a fan brush. If you want the best of both worlds, I hear everybody ask, you know, they're like, well, what's the best thing for if you're using the combo with, you know, cavitation and RF? Well, you're just going to have to deal with a little bit of a thinner gel. It's not a huge deal. It's not going to be any thinner than oil that some people have been using. So it's just going to be a little bit thinner. You can take some ultrasound gel and, you know, put a little bit of magnesium in it. It's going to be a perfect combination for the S-shape handle, because you're going to have your cavitation conduction and you're also going to have your mineral content for your RF. So just, you know, get a container, like one of the mustard or ketchup bottles, the little condiment containers from the dollar store, and fill it about 3/4 of the way with gel. add you a little bit of mineral content to it, like a little bit of sea salt or a little bit of the mineral trace drops or something that has magnesium in it. Shake it up. It'll be a little bit thin, but it'll work just fine on the skin, and it'll be a good combination of two conductors that you need that'll be safe for your cavitation head. If you add magnesium or the sea salt to your gel, you need to do it very moderately. I mean, just a little bit. It does not take much. So just a tiny bit, and yeah, it's going to thin your gel, but it's not the end of the world. You can squirt it on and it'll be fine, and it'll give you the best conduction. And then I'm trying to think anything else. Oh, hey, y'all stop paying $3,000 for body contouring training. How about that? How about that shit? Stop paying $3,000 for body contouring training. Nobody should be charging you $3,000 for body contouring training. I train people locally here, hands-on at my studio a lot. I would never dream of charging them that much money. And I probably could, but I couldn't sleep at night. So y'all quit paying that. Look, when somebody's got, some people say that you put your value, your price is your value, and I don't think that's, I don't know, I don't believe that. I think that you give your very best, whether you're charging $50 or whether you're charging $1,500 or whether or not you're doing it for free because you're just trying to help somebody out. So y'all need to stop paying so much money for these one-day body contouring classes. I used to train for permanent makeup because that's what I started in, and I hated the way the training was designed because I spent $12,000 on training. 2 rounds of training. The first round was, I thought it was going to make all my dreams come true, and I was going to know what I was doing whenever I finished. And I actually spent a year unlearning all the shit they taught me that was wrong, that I found out after I got into the business. But on top of that, I had taken another round of training, and it was not any better than the first. They gave me shit product. Probably a $50 kit they got off eBay that they upcharged me for. And so I decided a couple of years later, whenever I had really gotten established with permanent makeup, that I was going to start doing training for that here. And my trainings were $1,800, and that came with a $700 kit of product that I used. It was 10 days in studio, and it came with a 30-day apprenticeship. So that means they had a booth in my studio for 30 days to build their portfolio. So stop paying these ridiculous prices for these one-day trainings. When somebody's got a price tag like that on training, it doesn't always mean value. Sometimes it means like they're just really care a lot about money and they don't really give a shit about you. And that's just the way it is. Greedy people everywhere. Greed. So stop doing that. And if you are going to do it, you better damn well research them and be sure that they at least know what they're doing. I saw a bunch of posts about that. Y'all shouldn't be paying that much for training. There's no reason for it. There's a lot of information that can be, I do think that people need training for the basics. I do. I think you need to know like the fundamentals, how to properly drain your clients, because that is 95% of your session. Ooh, I know what else I want to talk about. I almost forgot. Who told y'all that a client is going to come in for treatment and that they're going to see a visual change at session 1? I've talked to so many people. I've seen so many people post pictures. They are discouraged. They had a client come in. They took their before and after photos, and they're like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? Y'all, what the hell? This is not surgical. Really, if we could produce a visual change that was dramatic in one hour long, $125 session, wait, no, that's not how it works. Sometimes you do see a dramatic change at the first session, and you know what that is? You have a client come in and they're retaining fluid. They are retaining fluid. And 75% of that first treatment result that you see is where you've taken fluid off the body. You can move fluid quick. I deal with it all the time in here in the shop, and I'm straight up with my clients. Like, I'm definitely not going to fake the funk. When they get so beside themselves when they see that before and after, they're like, oh my God, and they think that's a typical result from one session. I'm like, hold on a minute, Hoss. That is, look, let me tell you something. That is not all fat that I took off, so don't think that. I'm just a fool with the drainage. Like, I will drain you well. So I will move all that fluid out of the tissue. If you've ever seen somebody that's gone for a lymphatic drainage massage before and after, it looks similar to like they've had a body contouring session done. So what you need to set your clients up for, realistically, and sometimes it'll be better, but what I tell my clients when they come in, I'm like, all right, I'm going to guarantee every one of my clients a measurement loss at first session. And I'm blown away by how many people aren't measuring. I don't know how you are keeping clients without measuring your clients. When my clients come in, the first thing we do is measure. I document their measurements on their chart. They see that chart. And then as soon as they get off the bed, we measure again. So they get to see exactly what they lost in the time that they were on my bed. And I tell them, I'll guarantee you a measurement loss at your first session. You may have a visual change at second session, but I guarantee a visual change at third session. And my women are happy. I don't sell single sessions. If you give a woman an option to pay a single session, that's all she's going to pay. She's not going to be with you for a full treatment plan like what is recommended. And if anybody reads about cavitation, you know that the recommended amount of treatments is anywhere from 8 to 12. It's not meant to be a one-time hit it and quit it deal. We can't do what plastic surgeons do with a $500 machine in an hour. I mean, we got to be realistic, and these women do too. That makes no sense. So there's no reason to be down on yourself about that. Like, a lot of the shit that you see is smoke and mirrors. A lot of the stuff that's coming off is lymphatic fluid at the first session. Like my wood, I posted a wood before and after photo, and you can tell in my client's before picture, she was so bloated. She had so much fluid on her. And all I did was just work her sides. That was it. I worked her sides, and I did come in and pump this way right here some, and I pumped down towards her groin nodes real good, and I worked all this in. So whenever I got done with her wood session, her stomach looked chiseled, even though I had never even touched her stomach. And it's because I took the fluid off. It's not because that my machine is so badass, or I'm so badass that, you know, that was cavitation that did it. Lord, no, it wasn't cavitation that did that. That's fluid that came off. And I told my client that. I said, hey, you're going to retain some of your loss from today, but not all of it. Because some of it was, you know, where you're holding fluid. Same thing if you do a body wrap and you take the body wrap off, and 3 days later, it's back. So, on the butt lifts, surely everybody knows, something we don't want to talk about, but that's true. That great big puffed up, swollen up booty you see immediately coming off the cups, that is not what their butt looks like 3 days later. It's not. They keep about 30% of that. I got some badass booty photos too, where I swole them up, just like whenever Kylie Jenner used to stick her lips in the thing, make her lips real big. Clients don't keep all that. It's not even scientifically possible that you can grow a muscle that quick through suction. What does butt lifting do that's factual and true? It gives blood flow to the muscle. Is it an effective treatment? Hell yeah. Is it going to change your life in one session? Hell no. So don't tell your people that. Stop giving them these single session options. They need to be accountable. Put them on a treatment plan. I had a consult today. Today when my client came in, I looked at her and I told her, I said, this is going to be a 2-phase treatment plan for you. We got a couple inches of fat we need to work through. So I'm going to want you for probably 10 sessions on this area with just cavitation, RF, laser lipo. When we get past your first phase of treatment, I'm probably going to move you over to a couple of sessions of fat dissolve. And I'm also going to want to do yesotherapy on you. And that's going to be your second phase of treatment. We'll probably incorporate some aggressive skin tightening in that. She knows how many sessions that she needs to come for. She's happy with that. She paid me and she went on about her way, and she felt comfortable that she was dealing with somebody that she felt like knew what they were talking about. I explained to all of my clients these full treatments. I don't give a damn if a client is sitting here listening and they might be thinking about doing what I'm doing or I'm going to explain the treatment to my clients. That is my job as a professional, to let them know exactly what I'm doing to their body. Now, if they decide to go out and be my competition, hell, I ain't worried about that. My karma's good. I'm square with the house. Everything I touch is going to turn to gold. I mean, I love women. I train women in my area, in my backyard. One of those girls is on this group. Two of those girls are on this group that are right here in my backyard. Look, and I'm rooting for them. They better do good. I trained them to do good. If they don't do well, I didn't do my job. They better be planning on coming for me, because my hustle is hard to match. I got a whole family to feed and no man to put no help on the table with money. So, I mean, I got a man to take care of. I mean, my husband's got a traumatic brain injury. So, I do this. I contour 5 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day. It used to be 7 days a week. I told my kids whenever I was really trying to get my business going that I promised them I was going to be working real hard for a couple of years, but then I'd pull back because I knew they needed me. But so I do this 12, 14 hours a day, and then I'm a mom, and then I'm a full-time caregiver to my husband. We didn't come from money. Never really had no money. I was raised poor as shit. Lived in the projects part of my life. Went to 14 different schools. Single mom. I didn't even graduate high school. Sure didn't. Got my GED. I dropped out of school. My husband was a carpenter. We had a little bit of money in the bank, but I don't do this to be flashy or to get online and tell my girls. I got a little bread now. I make a little money now, but that don't mean shit to me at all. Because money don't impress me at all anymore. So when people get online and they're flashy and they're telling some of y'all when y'all get in this business, that how you make $25,000-$30,000 a day so you can buy a fancy purse and this and that. That ain't what it's about. That ain't what it's about, and it's not going to be that way. It's not going to be that way for a long time. Now, maybe you get in the business, you work, you make some other contacts, you get into distribution, you can start making a little chunk of money, but don't let people feed y'all no bullshit, because that's not the way it is. You want to work hard, you want to go broke to buy some of this equipment. You're going to go broke to buy some of this equipment. When I moved into my shop here, so I'm going to be so honest with y'all in this video, and I don't even give a damn if anybody judges me, because somebody's probably got the brakes on getting their business started, so I'm going to tell you the truth. When I rented my building, I had $1,400 in the bank. and no job, because I'd had my studio going. I had my little permanent makeup studio going, and when my husband had his wreck, I had to quit my job to take care of him full time. He came home in a coma, so my bedroom got turned into a hospital room. I took care of him full time. We didn't really have much money. Thank God he had just a little bit of an insurance policy tucked away that covered his accident to where I could just barely make it for a year. Taking care of the kids, taking care of him, taking care of me. But there came a point in time that I had to come back to work. So I was looking at leasing a new spot. And when I rented this building, I had $1,200 in the bank. And nobody even knew I was getting my spot. So I bought this giant ass building. Y'all can't even see how big it is, but it's huge. I've got an upstairs. I've got 3 stalls in the front, and then I've got a waiting area in the front, and then I've got my main room back here. There's a break room in the back, and then I've got an office upstairs. So it's a big building downtown on the square. And I rented this building, and I couldn't afford to put shit in it. I went home and I looked at my mama and I said, Mama, I rented a building today, and I got $150 in the bank, and I couldn't qualify for food stamps. And so my mom was like, what in the hell are you going to do? And I said, oh, I tell you what, I'm going to open my doors with only my bed. I couldn't afford to hang one damn thing on the wall. Not nothing. My walls were bare. I just had my permanent makeup stuff. I had a ring light. I had my bed. And I went home and I prayed to God, please help me. I said, do not send me a miracle. I'm not a lazy woman. I don't need a blessing to fall from the sky. But just send me the tools. Just give me what I need, and I will earn my keep. And I opened up my doors, and my first month, I booked 60 brow clients on my kids. Swear to God. My first month, I booked 60 brow clients, and I was so embarrassed whenever my clients came in here because I had no furniture. It wasn't fancy. I didn't have the money to make it fancy. But I was like, you know what? These fucking brows are fixing to be so good, they ain't gonna give a damn about what was hanging on my wall. So the whole reason why I'm telling y'all this is because there are a lot of single mamas out here, and I know some of y'all are saying, I can't afford this, I can't afford the equipment, I can't afford to get started, I've taken 5 trainings. Stop. Why are you not confident enough to get started? Why have you taken 5 trainings and you're not confident enough to get started? Why aren't you looking at yourself in the mirror every single day and saying, I am the baddest motherfucker I know, and I can do anything. There is nothing I cannot do. Utilize your skill. Know how great you are. Take what you know and get started. You don't get to just, there's not going to be no amount of training that's going to give you that confidence that you need. That confidence comes from inside you. And that only comes from you. That doesn't come from your husband, because half of these husbands ain't even supporting what we're trying to do anyway, and that's just the truth. So it comes from you. So you've got to get started. If you have spent a ton of money on training, stop. Buy your equipment. I don't give a damn if you have to go mobile. Beds on Amazon are $100. Throw it in the back seat of your fucking Kia, whatever you're driving. Uber to somebody's house if you need to, with your machine and with your massage bed, and handle your shit, okay? The dream comes way, way easy, but you gotta move your feet. Alright, so, and I felt like I needed to say that. I don't even really like talking about my personal business a lot, because I'm not somebody that was able to open my doors with a bunch of fancy shit. My husband don't make a bunch of money. I've got the money now where I could go and probably get my hair done if I wanted to, but I dyed it from a box last week because I'm too busy to go to the hair salon. So just know I'm very, very humble. And some people got it backwards. So I hope y'all get out there and work and do something great. And don't let anybody discourage you. I had no support. I really didn't have any support, which maybe part of that was my fault, because I was like, I'm not even going to talk about what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it. But research, read, find all the information that you can. Don't trust people that tell you things. Verify everything, and definitely stop paying thousands of dollars for training classes. And then you're sad when you leave your training classes. What do you mean that you went to training and you don't know why you can't treat a client that has diabetes? Why didn't your trainer tell you that? Your trainer probably didn't know. They know you can't. You need to know why. Each thing that you cannot do, you need to know why. You don't need to treat clients who have diabetes, not because of wound healing, not because of sugar, none of that. It is because they have undetected leaking lymphatic valves, which means they will backflow fluid into the tissue from what we break down. Why should a client not have body contouring done if they have high blood pressure? High blood pressure weakens the kidneys. We need the kidneys. The liver is going to decide if some of what we break down goes to the kidneys. We need them to be functioning well. So there are several things that, you need to know that. Don't be afraid to ask questions in training, because if your trainer has put themselves in a position to be an educator on this, they need to be able to answer most anything that you ask them. And if they don't know, then they need to be honest instead of making things up and be like, okay, you know what? You got me. You got me on that one. That's something I need to find out, because none of us are too smart to learn. If I'm ever the smartest woman in the room, I'm in the wrong fucking room. Like, I'm not afraid of other females who are extremely educated. I pick up bits and pieces of information all the time. So there's no room for ego, arrogance, none of that in this business. We all have something that we can benefit from each other. And that's one thing that I love about this group. Like, there's no reason, y'all, this is not the group. This is not the group where anybody has to be mean or hateful. I swear it's not. You are in the presence of so many great women. Like, if somebody posts and they ask a question, it might be irritating to you because you might know the answer to it, but just be kind. Just be kind. Don't be, nothing bad will ever come from a good seed planted, right? Maybe that person don't deserve some free info because you didn't get free info and you worked hard for it. But maybe back then you deserved some free info and nobody gave it to you. So just be kind. Look, whatever you put out and you give the world, that's what's going to multiply. So just this is a good group, guys. Nobody in competition. Like me and Ebony. Ebony is the creator of this group. I didn't know Ebony before I came into the contouring world. I have no reason in the world to even trust her. And we, collaborate all the time. I will recommend her for so many things because, I care about, I want to see her eat. I want to watch her prepare her table. God's going to send me what I need. As long as I'm worrying about somebody else doing good, I'm taken care of. So just, this group, y'all. This group, we need to be different. This needs to be a place where women come, where you can trust. Nobody will ever pressure you into any type of training. However, if you are interested in training, there are extremely affordable training courses available. I can guarantee you that they will be thorough. I have previewed Ebony's course, her body contouring course, and I'm going to tell you, hands down, it has my stamp of approval all the way. It's better than any online course I've ever taken. So, for those who are interested, it's available. Several different classes. We're fixing to roll out a whole group of them that we've been collaborating on, that Ebony and I are both building together. We've been interacting back and forth, and they will be affordable. They will be so affordable it's stupid. Because we both believe and have the same values that women need to be investing their money in equipment and things that you need for your business. So finally, I got some people on here. Hold on, let me see. Do we have any? Y'all, if y'all got a question, now's a good time. Now's a good time to ask me, because I had a cancellation. I'm just sitting here looking at some of this stuff on the live. Y'all, this is really what I come to work looking like, y'all. No time for makeup or eyelashes in my life. This is it. This is me in my raw form. I don't know about the cryotherapy, because that's not something that I do. I do ice contouring, which is the same concept. It's thermogenesis. So, yes, all of our trainings are virtual. They're going to be online. The courses will be listed in the group. How do you store the Catalan? You need to store it in the refrigerator once it's opened. You can store it at room temperature. It's fine as long as it's not open. So the importance of anatomy, mahogany, you show right, is everything. Fat dissolve training. We currently have a meso-lipo training in the group. I also have the hyaluron pens available, and I also have the cheapest Catalan in 3 countries with free shipping, just so you know. And I could be charging $150 a box for that, like other U.S. distributors, but I'm not a greedy biatch, so it's $95 a box, which is cheaper than Beyond Care. So, anatomy and physiology. Yes, y'all listen to me. Look up some stuff online about A&P. You need the pen. Ashley, you live right here. You can come and just get the pen. You can just come buy a pen. What are you doing on the live right now? You must be off work. So many people out here selling courses right now that, yeah, there's a bunch. You should definitely be worried of people selling courses. Do your homework, girl. Verify them. See if you think they know what they're talking about before you take a course with them. If they tell you that you can get in the sauna blanket after your treatment, run! Let's see. Oh, S-shape machine. I have a love-hate relationship with my S-shape machine, y'all. What's the difference between S-shape and 6-in-1? On the S-shape, the RF and the cavitation are included in one handle versus the separate handles on these machines. So it's just the ability to be able to do the cavitation and the radio frequency in one step. I'm trying to think of anything else. Lymphatic, I'm going to come back to this again. Everybody right now go to Google and pull up a lymphatic drainage map, okay? Pull it up right now. Do an image search if you don't have it already. Your drainage directions are everything. You cannot backflow a lymphatic vessel. You can't. The body won't allow it. Drainage is everything. A&P is also, this is my lipo mat. This is my lipo mat. Ooh, that I got from Bobby Sue. I've been using it for about 2 weeks. So I like it. I've got I've got my, hey, Bobby, so you see me, I just dropped your name on here about the little Lipo mat. So on the, okay, yeah, so the vacuum. I see somebody saying, oh, I can do that with the vacuum. Absolutely. Vacuum is meant to mimic a lymphatic drainage massage. So you set your vacuum to suction and release at the end of your session, and you don't want it to be a real hard, aggressive sucking motion, because lymphatic drainage is superficial. So imagine that you are massaging a baby, and that's how you stimulate. So you're going to want it set to a light suction and pump. Yes, work along those channels on your lymphatic drainage mat. How do I use my Lipo mat? It's so easy. I'm probably not a professional at explaining this like Bobby, because I'm new to the mat, but I wrap my clients up in it like a burrito on their stomach or on their legs, and there's a little turn nozzle on it, and I do it like, I bump it up like 3/4 of the way on the knob, and I leave them in the mat for like 25 minutes, because the mat does seem quite, the mat gets a lot warmer than my pads, so I'm still being super careful with it. I do know that the diodes on here, the little lights, I found out from Bobby because she messaged her rep that they are 100 MW per light, which means they are definitely effective at reducing fat. Remember what I told you guys, Lipo pads that are 5 MW, if you're not getting results, it's because they're not actually capable of reducing fat. You need at least 10 MW per diode in order to trigger a chemical reaction within the cell. So you need 160 MW. For Sauna, you need to go, I'm going to record and post this, you need to go all the way back to the beginning of the video. I did a test with the oil and the gel. So that you can see the difference. And I also talked about that in the beginning of the live. So you'll be able to go back to the beginning to see it. What time is it, y'all? I'm on Texas time. I don't know. Hold on. Okay, it's 6:20. I'm good. Yeah, for Sauna, you'll be able to go back to the beginning, babe. I did a test. For those of y'all that just got on, I did a test with the gel and the oil, and I put the cavitation head in each one so that you can see the difference. $7.25 in Florida. Man, I wish I was in Florida. Yeah, I like this mat, guys. It's been really easy for me. I like how, what city in Texas? I'm in Mount Vernon, so I'm halfway between Dallas and Texarkana on Interstate 30. I'm about 80 miles from Dallas. I'm originally from Texarkana, though. I'm not originally from this town here. This is a little bitty little town. So I don't see any other questions in the comments, and I do only have a few minutes before my client gets here tonight, so I'm going to get off the video. But when I post, there was probably, for those of y'all who are just getting on, what do you use for laser pads? Okay, there's not any reason to use anything for laser pads. Hey, what's up, Frisco? I was just in Frisco. I took my kids to Dave & Buster's at Stonebriar. Hey, what's up, El Paso? Represent for Texas. We got a bunch of Texas people on our group. Any marketing and advertising tips? Pictures. Really, really good before and after pictures. Y'all know what I'll do? Let me tell you the secret of a flash sale. There is a method to this. So, first of all, you got to get your following up on your page. So what you need to do is, don't do the like and share, okay? Don't do that. What you need to do is you need to make a post and you need to do a giveaway. And you need to say, in order to be entered in the post, you have to complete these steps and then click done whenever you've completed the steps, and you'll be entered in the giveaway. And these are the steps. They need to invite everybody on their friend list to like your page. You'll get about 20 or 30 likes per person. Once you get your following built up, then you need to wait until Friday, payday. Then you need to wait until Friday at about 3:30. Don't wait until 5, because at 5 o'clock, women got their paychecks. They already know what bills that they've got to pay, and they're online doing their bill pay. So post it at 3:30. Flash sale. 6 hours only. Create the urgency while they have money in their pocket. This is how women think, and y'all all know that I'm telling the truth. We will not pay our electric bill to catch a sale if we think it's a one-time only deal. And you want to catch them before they have time to think about it. So only give them 6 hours. 6-hour flash sale. Posted about 3:30. Everybody will see it. They'll call their friends and tell their friends, oh, you're just having a sale, it's cheaper. Do that. Don't discount your prices really low. Keep your prices at a competitive price point, but not too low to hurt yourself, okay? If business starts slowing down, run a flash sale for a very minimal amount of time. But don't discount your prices permanently. Anytime you come down on your price, always call it a flash sale. Yes, I'm going to keep the live up. I'm going to download it so I can upload it to my YouTube channel. My kids think it's so cool that I have a YouTube channel, because I'm not very good with technology. Do you use any gel or cream with the belt? No, I don't. I don't use any gel or cream with the belt. I don't use any gel or cream with the Lipo pads either. You need my YouTube. Y'all, my YouTube is so boring. There's only one video on there. It's under Bodynova Aesthetics, my business name. If y'all don't have any more questions, I'm fixing to get off here because my client's going to be here. But I'll be back, like sometime next week or something. There'll be some new questions. I'll have another client that reschedules last minute or something, or starts their period. I have clients have to reschedule all the time because they started their period. They can't come in for their treatments. Yes, I do. Hazy, I do. I put the pads on bare skin, baby. Where'd I get this belt from? I got this belt from Bobby Sue. Right here. And I got the belt from Bobby Sue, and I knew that I could probably order it directly from China for cheaper. But I got this thing about supporting U.S. women businesses. I dig it. It's my thing. I like doing that. I like supporting women, for real. I'll pay a little bit more to support a woman. I'm trying to think anything else. Why shouldn't we work on a client that's on their cycle? Because hormone changes within the body. Not only does it slow the flow of a lymphatic movement, but it also increases inflammation in the body. Cavitation does. It'll make the bleeding heavier. It'll make them a bit more crampy, and it will also just not be a great treatment because they will experience some swelling post-treatment. Yes, it does. Ashley, did you get your belt? Did you? Like, I got it so fast, I swear. Alright, I don't see any more questions coming across. Guys, I'm going to get off here so that I can get my bed ready for my client. I'm so glad you like it. I like mine too. You lost 2 inches. I need to get my fat ass on the belt. Look, y'all can't even see. I look like a busted can of biscuits. Yes, I'm going to save the live. I'm going to download it, baby, so I can post it. You're not getting results. Not sure if it's the training or your machine's getting very discouraged. Desiree, don't get discouraged. Message me your order of treatment, baby. Private message me your order of treatment. It may just be that you need to work some on your drainage. No, I'm not selling these belts. Yeah, so everybody should be getting probably getting like some people got their Catalan yesterday, but some people should be getting it today. Alright, y'all. I'm fixing to get off here. For those of y'all that just got on, yeah, I am going to save the video, so you're welcome, baby. You're welcome. For those of y'all that are just getting on, why can't you do sauna after treatment? Go back to the beginning. Okay, I'm going to post this video. I'm going to save it, okay? So go back to the beginning because I discussed the sauna blanket. That was part of the reason why I posted the video, was to talk directly about the sauna blanket. So I do go in depth on that. Alright, y'all. I think that's it. Hey, y'all have a good night. I got to get my room ready for this client.